Hey ladies and gentlemen, so with solo leveling Arise, we are 23 days out, 3 weeks away, and then we get our pre-anniversary update, aka the last update before we get the anniversary. Now, we've spoken about the anniversary character, you know, take it how you will. If they choose to commit to giving us a alternative or a alternate universe Cheyenne, you know, we'll see how things are, we'll see if they cook and what furthermore that brings to the game. But catering to what's happening right now, to the April character, if I'm being completely honest, it might be wise for some to actually consider skipping out on GOTO RYUJI. If I'm being like, for example, like for the free to plays whatnot, right? If you're a low spender, I think the better way to maximize your chances is to actually skip GOTO RYUJI, only because he's a nice little upgrade for the wind element. However, with where wind is at in terms of Jinchul, Hansemi and Amamiya, it's still perfectly viable to this day. Now, let me not get ahead of myself. So just quickly, briefly, if you guys do want to support your boy, I'm still waiting on the one code. Once the developers give that over, I'll be sending that over to all my supporters, of course. Again, down below in the description are all the giveaways that I do for my supporters. First year anniversary, I'm going to try and do my best to do what I've done before and give back a lot more. So yeah, we've got all that essence right up to get all that good stuff, so just want to keep you guys in the loop of all of that. So if you guys haven't seen, this is something which I am looking forward to. So we know that with Zerin, of course, she is a, well, I think there was a brief description about her to say how she rides a motorcycle and whatnot, of course. I don't know why, but I like seeing this, and then seeing obviously she's going to be using like a futuristic type pistol, submachine gun type gun, of course. Dante? I don't know why I'm getting DMC vibes right now. It's crazy, but it'll be interesting to see on if we actually get her on the bike in terms of her gameplay. I know that they'll probably do it for the ultimate 100%, because I mean, with the ultimate animation, they'll make it a bit flashy, get her just kind of teleporting onto the bike and then, you know, probably running it into the enemy and whatnot. But I do hope that they commit to it being some part within her skill, right? It'll be pretty cool. Like, imagine you doing a combination and her core attack just makes it so that she rides the bike into the enemy. That would be pretty dope. So I'm hoping that they implement that. And then, of course, you know, it being a pistol, her main weapon, of course. Again, I'm gonna hope and pray that we get some dual wielding going on. Dual wielding a motorcycle rider. Hey, I'm sold. Thank you very much. So I just kind of wanted to keep you guys informed on yeah, what's going to be happening. Honestly, this is the sole reason why I'm going for this character. Well, that, and she's the water breaker, of course, and that's what I do want to get into. So here's the additional information from Alpha. So the next two units are going to be water. So obviously the Alpha character, oh sorry, April character will be a water breaker. And then, of course, Cheyenne will more than likely be water DPS. There's no way in God's green earth they're going to make a Cheyenne character from an alternative universe where the Monarchs destroyed her world and make her a support character. That if they ever do that, I will lose my absolute mind. Unless there's a part 2, then okay, fair play. We've got a water DPS still to come, but 100% we're going to be getting water DPS because realistically, Mei Lin is still doing fantastic in terms of the water support role, of course, so she can still handle it. Although it'll be interesting to see if Cheyenne's going to have any type of core play going on, because obviously Mei Lin does also provide that core buff, so that's something to take note of. Now, coming back to preparing yourself and obviously going to skipping out on GOTO RYUJI. If I'm being completely honest, right now for the wind element, like I said, with where the game is at, I mean, wind isn't exactly being catered to too much. I mean, the next element is going to be wind and water, but with the way things are looking and the team layout on how things are, I think the biggest change and the biggest elevation that we are going to be getting, where am I going with this? Not managed preset. So yeah, I think the water element is something that most should consider focuses on over wind element, because as I've said, wind element is doing just as fine even if you commit to running the this initial team. Again, the GOTO RYUJI is just a slight little upgrade and pushing a little bit more for Amir to do that more damage, but again, his breakage is still pretty phenomenal. But again, it's nothing too chase worthy in my personal opinion. On the other hand, obviously with where things are at with water element, I mean, you've got your two choices. I'm not gonna lie, Anna is still a solid breaker. I do utilize her at times, of course, and I get that defense drop towards the enemy, of course. But I will say in the breakage department, I feel like with where every other character is, with what every other breaker is providing for the main DPS, we are slightly, I say slightly, no, we are a little bit outdated on the water element. And so in my personal opinion, I think the water element is something which most should consider focusing on. And obviously if the main DPS for water element is going to be the first year anniversary, I mean, come on, it's going to be crazy. If we're getting an alternative universe Chai-Yen who's more ruthless, more aggressive, we saw how Chai-Yen first came into the game being an absolute like a line overstepper, right? She kind of broke the game to where we where the power level just kind of grew, right? The line was surpassed is what I'm trying to get at. And so it's fair to say with where the game started with Chai-Yen breaking the game and having an immense power increase, we're about to relive that once again a year later. It's definitely going to happen, no doubt in my mind. And so that's kind of one of the things that I just want to make sure that people are preparing for, that I mentioned before, because I know some people still might want to cater to GOTO RYUJI. Maybe it's the character, maybe they just want the best wind element team possible. You can maximize your pools. You can actually maximize your pools whilst catering to the water element and not wasting your rate up ticket on GOTO RYUJI, whilst being able to get GOTO RYUJI and then having your water element done up, so that way you've got the wind and water pretty much squared away. And what do I mean by that is GOTO RYUJI right now is available as a rate up banner character, of course. When he goes away, we'll have the water element being catered to, of course. Saron will, of course, will then release. The water breaker will be here, the new updated water breaker. More than likely, she'll be doing some craziness, buffing up our main DPS, aka Chai-Yen. There's going to be some form of correlation for that incentive for you guys to summon, 100%, no doubt in my mind. And so when the first year anniversary does actually pop off, and obviously, if it is Chai-Yen, fair play. If it's someone else, then we'll have to wait and see. In the custom draw banner, GOTO RYUJI will be here for you to pull. So that's why I say, if you want to skip out on him, if you want to utilize your custom draw tickets and get him at a later time and utilize it from that perspective, and obviously then maximize your raid up tickets for the water element, you can, what's the saying, you can something, one stone two birds, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure some of you guys will get the saying. If you don't, then I'm completely lost. But that is, in my personal opinion, what free to play, low spenders and whatnot should really cater to. Because again, as of right now, is there any need for GOTO RYUJI? No, not at all. There's nothing right now. I mean, there's content being lined up 100% on what's to come, but for right now, with where things are at, you can still rock with Jinsho and still get free content by utilizing the win elements, such as I mean, to be fair, you're only realistically missing out on the extra 12% if you did have GOTO RYUJI, just putting it out there. But there's no rush. He drops when the first year anniversary drops, so again, you can really maximize your pulls during that time whilst getting the anniversary character and then backpedaling and getting your GOTO RYUJI. So that is just, you know, food for thought that I just kind of wanted to give out there in terms of the lineup, in terms of which typing to cater to, characters to summon for, and yeah, how things are looking right now. But the water element, yeah, 100% is going to be pretty crazy. To be fair, we'll get a good idea with the foundation of what the water DPS element character will be doing in terms of how this character plays out. Seeing her kit will give us an idea on what to expect for the first year anniversary. So yeah, just kind of wanted to make sure that everyone is aware and no one is, you know, just kind of spending their tickets when it's kind of, well, maybe it might screw you over for the anniversary and whatnot.